Hi there and welcome back. In this video, let's see how we can add Letsencrypt, and we're also going to see how to install web scripts in Ispmanager. So web scripts are things like WordPress, Drupal, and we're going to see the options that we have. So first, let's see how we can add Letsencrypt to a domain that doesn't have Letsencrypt already. So here under sites, I've added this domain, and we're going to see how we can add an SSL certificate for this. So come here under SSL certificates. You can see there's one here. When you create a website, usually it will automatically create it for you, but we don't want to use this. I'm just going to select it and then I can delete. If I want to issue Letsencrypt SSL, I'm just going to click there on Let's Encrypt. I will choose a domain. So I'm going to click on Enable SSL, and then I can also click on DNS validation. And there are certain records that you may need to add on your DNS provider. So I'm just going to select that, and I want to select the domain I want to generate for blog. And then the certificate name, I'm just going to call it with the domain name. And I can finally issue Letsencrypt. And if you look at this side, you'll see that Letsencrypt certificate issue is in progress. Just wait and the certificate will be issued. And if it's unable to issue it, you're going to get some notification about that. So let's come here under DNS. Let's go to this. Let's go and edit, manage the DNS records for that. And you can see here, you have this Acme challenge. You need to add this record in your DNS provider. For instance, I'm using Cloudflare. So I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to copy this record into my Cloudflare DNS records. So I need to add a TXT record. I'm just going to add that, and it should be a TXT record. The name I've just copied from the other side. Let's come back and copy the other one. Copy time to live 3600. We're going to add that on Cloudflare. So paste that, and then time to live 3600. 3600, I think that's an hour. So I'm just going to save. Is there another one? Close that. All right, there's another one. Let's copy this one as well. Add a record that is 1 hour. Save that. So if I come back here, I should just give it time and wait. You may use the Let's Encrypt log button to check the progress of your certificate, and this may help you determine why the certificate was not issued. And you can see SSL certificate issue in progress. So this is taking longer than is necessary. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to issue another Let's Encrypt certificate for this. Don't try to do this many times, because Let's Encrypt is going to block your certificate from being generated if you do it after a certain number of times. So that was the first one. Let me just do the second one. I'll just click there on generate Let's Encrypt. And this time round, I'm not going to select on DNS validation. I'm just going to select the domain that I want it for. And note that my A records have already been added for this domain, so it should be pointing to this server anyway. So if I just issue the certificate, let's just wait and see. Okay, and this time round, you'll see that the certificate has been issued. So just a word of caution, the only thing you need to do actually is just add the A records. Just add the A records, because it gives a quicker authentication for the domain. So in my case, you see I've added the A record, and I've also added a CNAME for www.blog. And this is going to make it so that a certificate can also be generated for this CNAME of www for that domain. So I can just close, I can just delete this one because I really don't need it. All right, so after installing Letsencrypt, let's see how we can install a web script for our domain. So let's come here to sites, and we want to install a web script on this domain. So what you're going to do now is we're going to install WordPress. So if you select on the domain where you want to install the web script, you can just come in here under CMS, and then you select what you want to install. If you want to install Drupal, you can install Drupal. In my case, let's go with WordPress. I'm going to do a quick install for WordPress. Accept terms and license agreements. Next. And then we're going to create a database for WordPress. WPDB, create a user for the database. We can generate a password, and then for WordPress, we are going to leave the admin user as the admin user, and then you can generate a password requirements. You can see that everything matches. Depending on the web script that you install, there are certain requirements. So if they don't support PHP 8.1, you'll see a red warning there, and you can go and change your PHP version if you are the admin user. And then all other PHP extensions that are required will be shown to you right here. If any is missing, you can always go and install them under PHP settings. Database, right now we only have MySQL, and that's the one that we're going to use. So I'm just going to click next to install WordPress. So if the directory has something, they are going to get overwritten by WordPress. So I'm just going to click there on finish. There you go. WordPress has been installed. If you need to delete it, you can delete it from there. So let's come here under sites. Let me just edit the version of, let me edit the PHP handler for this, and I want to use CGI. And then I'm going to save. You can visit the domain by just opening website in browser. There you go. WordPress has been installed. So in this video, you've seen how you can set up Letsencrypt, and we set up Letsencrypt there for this domain. And then we also installed a web script. To install a web script, choose the domain that you want to use, select the CMS from there. And if anything is not available, let's say you're installing PrestaShop and PrestaShop doesn't support PHP 8, what you can do, you'll just come to the domain and you can edit the domain. Edit the domain, PHP handler, you can change the PHP version there. That's it for this video. If you have any questions for this, let me know and I will see how to assist you.